Okay, a very quick video on how to remove and replace the cowling, hoping that this goes well. The first thing to just be aware of is to make sure that the windscreen cover is still in place, and I also make sure that it's folded behind these two sharp bits here and obviously on the other side. Two tools are usually required. This one just for removing and replacing, but I also use this as a way to help me to replace the air intake on the top. So it's as follows. I always take the oil cap off first, remove that, place that safely on the carpeted area, then remove the top cowling, or the air intake. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. While I'm up here, I also remove this top bolt here, and because it's very easy to lose, I take that one out and place that in the tip side. Lift up the air intake like so, and slide it out that way. It's pretty straightforward. Also place on the carpeted area. The order that you undo these nuts doesn't really, these screws doesn't really make any difference, but I usually start on one side and just work my way across like so. And obviously do this exactly the same on the other side. Okay. While I'm over this side, I've actually popped each of the screws out of the cowling out of the engine. But just so you can see what I do here, just put my fingers under gradually and just fail miserably to get them to pop out. Come on. There we go. Once I'm sure the whole thing is loose, I then always grab it and make sure I go vertically upwards first of all, and then point it and tip it down so that these two very sharp edges go nowhere near this windscreen. Okay, so up, straight up in the air, at an angle like that, and then to make sure that that sharp bit at that side comes over the engine, like so. And then go and place it safely on the carpeted area. Replacing. Again, always important to make sure that the cover is in place, because this is the danger time. Hopefully I'm going to make this look fairly straightforward. So, kind of reverse procedure. You come over the engine like so, and try to make sure you don't touch anything. Roughly get it in place, and then get it in one side there. But if you do the same thing over the other side, you'll find that the cowling will start to drop. Because I'm making it look hard on purpose. You may have to go backwards and forwards a couple of times. There you go. That one just clicked in there, which sounds good. So make sure that the same thing happens on the other side. That first one into place, and it clicks into place. There we go. Now, with those two in place, what you then can do is actually screw it into place. So a nice little push on the screw, make sure you have to maybe turn it slightly, and then she locks into place, and you've got that first one in. And then go to the other side and do exactly the same thing with the other one, and that's now in place. If you do those two first, it then becomes easy. You have to back and forward a little bit, obviously be taking care, but you now see that this next one's falling into place quite nicely. Just a little bit of leeway, that's good. I might as well do that one while we're here. Just a little bit of a gentle caress, and she clicks into place. Back to the other side. You find that as you push it in, it tends to click into place. Being a little bit more awkward. Just a little bit of gentle caress, and she's in. Right, okay, so now then, these two tend to be the harder ones. So I'll try and get the camera in a little bit closer. Now in actual fact I can see that that's already clicked into place quite easily, so it shouldn't be too difficult. Just a little bit of a twist and a push, and in she goes, no problem at all. And the same with this one, a little bit of a twist and a push, and in she goes. So let's go and check the two on the other side. This one doesn't look as though it's quite in as well, but I don't know. Let's just see what happens when we give her a little twist and a push. She has actually gone straight in and clicked in. That's nice. Clicking nice. Right, okay, the top one can be very, very awkward. Let's get in close to that camera, and I'll try and do it from the other side. So the trick with this is there is usually a longer piece, longer on the T here, and it's to get that bit in first. So if you come in down at an angle, she tends to just go in. You might have to give it a little bit of a twist. I had to lift that ever so slightly to get it to go in. Once she's in, again, it's a little twist and a push, and the job's a good one. It's got to be very careful. Slow movements, make sure you don't catch. It's very easy to slide, so just take your time, and the job's a good one. Okay, I'm now going to just replace the oil. What I tend to do is make sure that the text is pointing the right way up as I put it in. Again, pretty straightforward. Replacing the air intake can be quite fiddly. What I tend to do is use this tool to give her a little bit of a bellow out so that so it's the right shape. And I don't know why, but I've always found it easier if you come from this side. You can get right over the top of the aircraft, and you need to just make sure you can see down inside as you slide, and it then does become pretty straightforward. And again, stand at the front, make sure it looks okay, that there's definitely no obstructions in that intake, and then come over here again, just nice and gently, a little turn, and a twist, turn and a push. She goes down, turn and a push, she goes down, turn and a push. Okay, one final check that everything is definitely in the right place. Make sure that all of that fits perfectly. And that is a very quick guide to how to remove and replace the cowling pretty straightforwardly. I hope